In fact, if life without water is impossible, what really do you know about the water you consume? Verna purified water is your guaranteed choice, the only guaranteed one that will give you the pleasure of satisfying your thirst, but also you're assured of water that is purified using a series of filtration, reverse osmosis, ultraviolet, sterilization, and ozonation to meet the standard quality that your body deserves or needs. With over 100,000 bottles consumed every day, Verna Purified Water has gained acceptance as the #1 brand of water in Ghana today. And with every bottle of Verna mineral water you buy, you consume, you also directly contribute to impacting lives through the Verna challenging situation of life by changing the lives of people. As a Verna Changing Lives initiative, from its orphanage project to drilling of boreholes, surgery payments, and payment of fees for brilliant but needy students, Verna Purified Water continues to support many beneficiaries each year to change their lives for the better. Share the love. Get a bottle of Verna Purified Water today and enjoy the pure, refreshing taste. And while at that, you always have to remember that this has been verified, approved, and endorsed and recommended by the Ghana Medical Association. It's only Verna Purified Water. Verna Purified Water, you're drinking it, you're changing people's lives, you're making an impact, and you're taking very good care of yourself. Verna Purified Water, changing people's lives. This advert is FDA approved. Sinaso leads us. She Apollo, Econio, I say clear. No space for Apollo can kind. Dr. Gilbert Batieka Bonsana is an ophthalmologist with the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Is also a senior lecturer at the University of Development Studies Medical School. Bonsana, Dr. Bonsana, welcome. Doc, how are you doing? Good morning. Hello, Doc. Good morning. Doc, you have muted yourself. I can't hear you. You have to open your mic to the world.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning.
Doc, okay. Doc, now you have to listen to me through the laptop. So the radio has to go off. Hello, Doc. You have to. There are two things playing. You have to mute one.
3FM Sunrise.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes,
Sorry.
this is better. That's fine. How are you?
Yes. I hope I'm clear now.
You are clear. How are you? Doc, can you hear me?
.7 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
Their appears apologies for that. And the internet decides to give us Apollo this morning. So we're trying to get some answers for you. For those of you who have been asking the nagging questions, phoning in on the back end to want to understand what's going on. Some have even ascribed it to spirituality. They say there's a bad spirit moving around. We want to ask the medical doctor if it's indeed a bad spirit moving around, which is affecting people the way it is. Yeah, these days people, somebody, you sit in the public transport with somebody, the person is counting his money in an envelope. He's trying all he can to make sure that you don't see what's in the envelope. You are looking into the envelope. Why won't you get Apollo? Because the person is trying to keep the money away from you, but you are looking into the money. That's where the problem is. Dr. Gilbert Batieka Bonsana is an ophthalmologist with the Tamale Teaching Hospital and a senior lecturer at University of Development Studies Medical School. And he will join us on the phone in a bit so that we can have a conversation. In the meantime, get ready as our young orators will get to speak to us this morning on their chosen topics. They have topics that they will talk to us about, and I'm eager and itching to listen to them as we get ready for the big finale at the Christ the King Hall, Switchback Road, on Friday, 9 a.m. sharp. You got to see these youngsters and bravery with which they speak, the eloquence with which they articulate their points, and the depth with which they Dr. Bonsana on now, 53 minutes after 8. Dr. Bonsana, good morning.
Good morning.
Great. Good to hear you. Now, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you too?
I'm fine. Doc, you need to put off the radio so we can talk here.
Okay.
Okay, Doc, you need to you need to pause the Zoom, maybe get away from it. Great.
I have.
There's conjunctivitis. Did I get it right?
I have. Is it clear now?
It is fine. Conjunctivitis. What is it?
Yes. So conjunctivitis is an an infection or inflammation. Generally, an inflammation of the inner lining of the cleft membrane of the eye. It usually lines the inner part of the eyelid and then the white part of the eyeball. It's a clear membrane, mucous membrane, that lines the inner part of the eyelid and then the white part of the eyeball. And when there's inflammation of this structure, then we see the person has conjunctivitis.
I see. Now, lately you see people around reddened eyelids, reddened eye, you have mucus or I don't know what you doctors call it, on it and very uncomfortable for most of the people. What is happening?
Yes, you are right. We have seen an outbreak of conjunctivitis these days, and then the numbers are rising by the day. And this is because there is what we call viral conjunctivitis or acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis, commonly called Apollo. There's an outbreak of this condition across Ghana. So we are seeing increasing numbers of such cases in the clinic.
And what causes this?
So generally, conjunctivitis can be caused by infection, one of which is viruses. And then we also have bacteria. Then we also can have chemicals or allergies. But the commonest cause, as at now, is a virus called enterovirus. This enterovirus usually is highly contagious. And when you get in contact with someone who has Apollo, you also get the condition. So that is what is happening now. So it's caused by an enterovirus. It's called Apollo because in 1969, there was a severe outbreak of this condition in West Africa. And that was the time the first man landed on the moon. And that mission was called the Apollo 11 mission. So the name Apollo was coined for this condition at that time.
How easy is it to get this conjunctivitis?
Very, very easy to get. It's very, very easy. It's highly contagious and it's by contact. So if someone has it and you shake the person's hand and then you later on touch your eyes, you transfer the virus into your eyes. And then if you use towel of an infected person, you can also get the infection. If you touch handkerchief or let's say eyeliner or any other thing that the infected person has used, then you are also going to get an infection, like the beddings of the person, the pillows, and other things of the person. So it's purely by contact. Though in some cases, the wind can blow the viruses into another person's eyes, especially when you are in close contact.
Right.
And that's why some people say that when you look into somebody's eyes, you also get an infection. It's not just by looking, it's the fact that maybe you are too close to the person, so wind blows the viruses into your eyes as well, or onto your hand. And when you touch your eyes later on, you transfer the infection onto yourself.
You see a lot of people with this condition or this ailment around. Some have suggested that it has spiritual undertones. Is there any spirit that is roaming around us giving people conjunctivitis? Apollo?
No, please. There is no spiritual undertone to this. As I said, it's highly contagious. So once one person has it in the community, the others are likely to get, especially in crowded areas like schools, churches, prisons, and other crowded environments. So we are always advised that when you have it, then you have to try to isolate yourself and then try to avoid crowded areas. So there is no spiritual undertone to it.
What symptoms are we to look out for?
So first of all, when it starts, you feel like there is sand in your eyes, what we call foreign body sensation. You know, when you blink, you feel as if someone has poured sea sand into the eyes.
Right.
You feel greater sensation. Then later on, the eyes begin to be a bit painful. Sometimes it may be itchy. Then later on, you may get redness of the eyes. And then in some cases, it may get swollen. The eyelids may get swollen. And then in severe cases, you may even get discharges coming from the eyes. But most of the time, you have tearing, lots of water coming from the eyes. And you may be very sensitive to light, you know, in some cases. And all of this, the redness usually on the conjunctiva, which is a clear transparent membrane covering the white of the eye. So the eye gets very red.
Doc, can it be treated?
Yes. Generally,
how is it done?
It's caused by a virus.
Right.
Viruses, most of them are self-limiting. So in most of the cases, these conditions are self-limiting, and within a week or two, it may disappear or it may go on its own. But generally, you can take measures that will reduce its effect on you. And these measures are to wash your hands regularly with clean soap and clean water, and also to wash your face and eyes off the discharges and the viruses, and that will limit the effect on you. In some cases, we may give some eye drops, such as artificial tears or lubrication, to lubricate the eyes so that the greatest sensation and the pain is reduced. And when we suspect that you may have a secondary bacterial infection, or in some cases as prophylaxis, we may give antibiotic eye drops. And all these ones are to make you more comfortable. But we will not say there is a specific treatment as such. It is usually self-limiting, but these are measures that can be taken to limit its effect on your eyes.
I see. So if somebody has it, they don't have to mix up with people. Do people have to use that as an excuse not to go to work?
Exactly. You can use that as an excuse not to go to work. Because when you go to work, you are likely to infect your co-workers. And that means that the company or your workplace may have to close down due to an outbreak, because it can cause epidemic. So it's better to stay at home. Just like in the COVID era where we used to encourage people to stay at home. This one too, when you get infected, it's better to stay at home than to go to work. So it's a perfect excuse for not going to work. And then if you realize that it is getting out of hand, it's better to see your ophthalmologist, your eye doctor, who will look into the eyes and see if there are other issues that have to be addressed. And it's not good to self-medicate or to buy medicines on your own, because you may be given the wrong medicine that can cause other issues. It's better to see your ophthalmologist, who will now give you the excuse you seek, to stay at home.
An old woman said that you can use a drop of seawater, or you can prepare your own salt solution or saline solution and then drop 1 or 2 in there, and then you'll be fine. Is that also something to consider?
Yes, so those are household remedies. The reason why people say that is a salt solution may help to sweeten the eyes a bit. But these are not validated treatments. It's better to see your ophthalmologist, who would prescribe medicines if you need medicine. But then sometimes some of the salt solutions or the seawater may be contaminated. So if they are contaminated with bacteria, with other organisms, they are going to worsen the situation. And there are instances where people have lost their eyesight due to the use of some of these unapproved remedies. So it's better and safer to see your ophthalmologist or your eye doctor, who would prescribe treatment for you. In the meantime, you can just wash your eyes and your hands regularly with clean water and soap. And then if it is not getting better, you now see your ophthalmologist. So these treatments are not recommended.
Doc, are there foods that you should avoid in the event that you get conjunctivitis?
Generally, you may not have to avoid any food. But if you are a person who has allergies to certain things or food, then it's better to avoid, because when you have the conjunctivitis and you are also exposed to things that will cause you irritation or allergies, then it may worsen the situation. But in general, you may not need to avoid any food as such. Once you're comfortable with your food, then you can go ahead and eat it.
Doc, any closing thoughts for us? You have spoken about sanitizers, washing of hands, avoiding handshakes if you can or you must, and many others. But what do you leave us with?
Yes, I would want to say that acute viral conjunctivitis, commonly called Apollo, is an epidemic which is now with us, and it is in the air and also on our hands and clothing and towels and all that. So anyone who has this condition, it's better you isolate yourself. You wash your hands regularly and wash your face regularly, and see your ophthalmologist if you are not getting better. It is not advisable to go to the chemist or the pharmacy to buy an eye drop for yourself, because it may cause other issues. It is not advisable to use home remedies such as the seawater, breast milk in the eye, and all those things are not advisable. Or using someone else's eye drop, it is not advisable. It's better you see your ophthalmologist who would prescribe the right medication for you to use. And this one too shall pass. It's just a period, and with time, we would go over this. So let's follow the right remedy. We all have our eyesight at the end of the day.
Doc, did you say the breast milk remedy is not correct?
Yes, please. It's not correct.
A drop
People
of breast milk,
eyes,
yes.
Yes. The breast milk, people may say that, okay, it dilutes the viral load in the eye, in the conjunctiva. But then the breast milk could be contaminated, and that could cause other problems. So there are better remedies. So breast milk is not recommended.
Dr. Gilbert Batieka Bonsana is an ophthalmologist, Tamale Teaching Hospital, and senior lecturer, University of Development Studies Medical School. We're grateful for your time, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. It's 5 minutes after 9. I'm getting ready now to speak to our orators. Oh my God. I just love them. I love them.